A while back, I made a video about the Sabra Shatila incident, where back in 1982, the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, agreed to leave Lebanon on the premise that the U.S. would protect the refugees that were being left behind. The U.S. did not honor this agreement. Israel came into that refugee camp, blockaded it, allowed Lebanese militia in, where they massacred 4,000 civilians, mutilated and raped them over the course of 48 hours. The Israel authorities, of course, denied any involvement, and no one was ever held accountable. What I didn't know is what happened just a couple months prior to this massacre. Israel invaded Beirut with 90,000 soldiers on a mission to destroy the PLO, which, by the way, only had 6,000 members at that time. They blockaded the entire city, would not let anyone leave. They shut off electricity, would not let any water or food in or medical supplies. Then they bombed the shit out of everything. All the residential buildings, all the hospitals. And the death toll was 11,000, 40,000 injured, and 400,000 homeless. The Israel authorities said that they were after the PLO because they were a terrorist organization whose aim was to slaughter the Jews, and that this was self-defense. How did Western media respond? Well, I think this Newsweek cover from 1982 kind of says it all. Their response 40 years ago is the same as it is today: to cover the truth, to lie, and to defend Israel no matter what. Right now, I'm reading a book called Mornings in Jenin, and I want to play a clip for you as an example of how Israel defends itself. In this clip, the author is talking about a book she read called Pity the Nation, which is a first-hand account of some of Israel's atrocities in Lebanon, including the use of white phosphorus, a war crime, which Israel uses with impunity for decades because they've never been held accountable. I just want us all to understand the severity of Israel's violence, as if we don't already. And as always, free Palestine.
In his epic memoir, Pity the Nation, The Abduction of Lebanon, British correspondent Robert Fisk described phosphorus Israeli shells. Dr. Shammah's story was a dreadful one, and her voice broke as she told it. I had to take the babies and put them in buckets of water to put out the flames, she said. When I took them out half an hour later, they were still burning. Even in the mortuary, they smoldered for hours. Next morning, Amal Shammah took the tiny corpses out of their mortuary for burial. To her horror, they again burst into flames.